The U.S. soccer presidential election is heating up with a bunch of different candidates throwing their name in the ring. But more importantly, is the Federation trying to make sure they keep their dirty laundry in the bag? All right, welcome back to another episode where we talk about U.S. soccer, the problems that are obvious that need fixing. And today, my friends, it's all about the USSF presidential election, which has exploded with candidates. I'm sure by the time I actually get this video up on YouTube, there'll be 7 different candidates on top of the ones we already have. But considering that Sunil Gulati has run unopposed in the past and now has got contenders going up against him, I find that really fascinating. So today we're going to talk about the potential candidates, or not really the potential candidates, the candidates, who they are, just a high-level overview. I'm not going to dig in too deep. I want to just give you their name, and you can do some of the research on your own, because I want to make you to have an informed decision about who's out there and what they're talking about. But before we get into that, I want to show you something I think is pretty curious. So Kyle Martino, yes, that Kyle Martino from NBC Sports, you know, the Premier League, he does like the pregame show and the halftime shows and after, you know, all that good stuff, right? He is taking a leave of absence from NBC Sports to go after the U.S. Soccer Federation presidency. That's interesting because it's an unpaid, at least right now, as it's written, an unpaid volunteer position. And he got an email that he shared on Twitter from the Federation. And I want to show that to you here just a second. So I don't know if you can read all of that, but essentially says, this is from Gregory A. Fike, and he's part of the committee. Let's just put it that way. It says, I'm writing on behalf of the Nominating and Governance Committee. The committee wants to remind the potential candidates that as part of the process approved by the U.S. Soccer Board, does that say or directors? Surely they mean of directors. Surely they mean of directors. Let's go. Let's zoom. I think that's supposed to say of directors. That's hilarious. I could be wrong. I could be reading it wrong. Okay. The committee wants to remind the potential candidates that as part of the process approved by the U.S. Soccer Board or directors, all candidates are expected to conduct campaigns with dignity and moderation and with respect for any other candidates for the USSF and its members. The committee also expects that all candidates will communicate this requirement to members supporting the candidate. Here's why I find this really interesting. You could read this as a, hey, don't be slinging mud. Like, don't say, hey, Kyle Martino, think you're just a pretty face on NBC Sports. Or, hey, Steve Gans or Eric Wynalda, I don't like you. You know, like, you could read it that way. Or if you're a bit more cynical, based on how things have been run at the top of U.S. soccer, you could take it as a, let's go back and look at this. Respect for any other candidates for the Federation and its members. So any other candidates could be Sunil Gulati. Going after the Federation could mean like saying, I think it's poorly run. I think we've got pay-to-play issues. I think we need pro-rel. I don't like how there's people in bed between MLS and Soccer United Marketing and the Federation. Like, are they trying to say, don't talk about any of that? Just, you know, have a platform and we'll talk about it. But you can't say, well, this is what they're currently doing and this is how I would change that. Depends on how you read it. I think it's just curious that November 8th, they've sent this out. Now, it also says in here that you can withdraw support for, like, if you're part of the election process and you put your name in behind a candidate, you're not allowed to put your name in behind another candidate. Okay, well, it was apparently an issue where you could put your name in, and then if another candidate appeared that you liked, you couldn't withdraw your support from the first candidate. So now they're saying you could do that, and you can go support the other candidate after withdrawing formally the first candidate. So that's fine. That's not the part I'm interested in. I'm interested in, are they trying to get people to not be critical of the current, dare I say, regime? Who knows? So since we're talking about Kyle Martino, again, I'm just going to kind of give you a high-level overview of the candidates that we have right now. I mean, I'm doing this on November 8th when this email was posted on his Twitter. I'm sure I think it should come out on November 9th. There might be 4 more candidates. Who knows? So Kyle Martino. And what I did really was I put in the names of the people that are running in Google and just to see what popped up. And what I'll first say is, if you don't have a website, shame on you. Shame on you. Like, if you're running your campaign on Twitter, that's pathetic. Like, go to Wix. Like, do something to put... You can go to wordpress.org or .com, whatever it is, where they'll host it for you. Like, there's more than enough options. You can go to Medium and put something there to host your platform. Just putting it on Twitter and not putting together a basic website is a bit concerning. So, what I like, Kyle Martino... It's everyone'sgameusa.com. You could see that in the URL up there. You can go take a look at it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I just like that he has a website. And it's like, it looks like it's well done. And he did it on Squarespace, right? It's not, I don't know if he did it or if he knew somebody who did it for him. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? You know, former U.S. soccer player, yada, yada, yada. I could honestly care less about his background, right? I mean, I care, but... I more care that, like, if you're going to say I'm going to change things, okay, have a platform. Why I'm running. I want transparency, equality, and progress is essentially his whole thing. We need to change not just of direction, but of vision and ambition. If what I really do like about Kyle Martino, if our men's national team fails to qualify for the 2022 World Cup, I will do the right thing and step aside. Shots fired. That's like saying, Sunil, you should have done that. And maybe that's again, go back to the email. You shouldn't have said that, right? I will do the same if we miss the quarterfinals in 2026. All right, I like that. Well, that's really calling your shot, right? That's like Babe Ruth in it. Okay. Likewise for the women, but with a higher standard, the semifinal round at all international tournaments from 2023 on. Interesting. It's got a link to his GoFundMe page and whatever. So I like that as a website. Pretty basic, right? Steve Gans. Who am I? Let's go. It's got his improvement and stuff like that. He has a website. A lot of these guys are lawyers or commentators. So that's kind of most of the pool that we've got here. But he's a partner in the Boston law firm, yada, yada, yada. I mean, he's been involved in soccer. You can read all this. Again, it's stevegans2018.com. Talks about his issues. I just think this is kind of funny, but also very interesting in that, like, it feels like I need to go vote. Like, I need a I voted for sticker, right? Or like, I voted today, but like, I don't have a say in it. U.S. soccer fans don't have a say in it. It's all about, you know, the federation and all the organizations that roll up under it from youth soccer and all that kind of stuff. So you've got this on here. I like, again, that it talks about the issues, leadership, judgment, blah, 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 blah. You can read through all that. Again, I just like that he has a website. And it looks like, I mean, it's not as snazzy as Kyle Martino's, but it's together and it has several pages and you can contact and all that good stuff. So that's good. All right. Eric Wynalda is taking a leave of absence, I believe, from Fox Sports. He's a commentator there. Again, same thing. Kind of a good looking website. Has his videos up there. What I don't like, at least that I'm seeing here, is like, this is what I'm standing for. Like, there's a volunteered yet. There's talking about, I don't want to have to listen to a podcast to understand what it is that you like stand for, like what you want to change. Maybe it's somewhere buried on the site. I haven't done a ton, like I'm not watching the video, right? So maybe it's on there. I mean, it looks like he's done like pay to play, use soccer on American soccer culture. It has several things on there. We have a soccer problem, but I do think you should, for people who don't want to watch videos or haven't watched videos or don't scroll down, like there should be another button here. It's like my platform, right? You're running for an office. You should have a platform. It should be in text form so that someone can read it, right? So I do like, he's got a website. So Eric Wynalda, former U.S. men's player, yada, yada, yada. You probably know who he is. I'd never heard of this guy. Michael Wynograd? Maybe. Okay. Has a website. Again, not as fancy, but I really don't care about the fanciness, right? Played D1 soccer. Board of his town soccer organization. Law school. So again, another the legal side of things. And that's fine. I'm not against that. But it's got his key strategic initiatives, right? Inclusive, merit-based transparency, advisory committees for critical decisions, whatever that means. Equal treatment for women's soccer. I like that. Take down cost barriers in youth soccer and coaching education. That sounds like a video I did. Maybe that coaching badges video, part 1 of how to fix U.S. soccer. You should watch it. If I can get that to pop up there, that would be good. That would be good. So again, it's WynogradUSSF.com. If you just take these names here and put them in Google and maybe put in you know, USSF or soccer next to it, you'll find the website. So that's interesting. Now, here's one that I'm not thrilled with. Carlos Cordeiro. He's a U.S. soccer vice president. He's been in the organization a long time, just like Sunil Gulati, which automatically is like red flag, right? Like, the other thing is, dude doesn't have a website. He's put his platform on Twitter. I just want to say, come on, man. And maybe it's because this is really tiny. I'm not going to try and read that. Maybe it's because his website here is U.S. Soccer, and maybe there's a thing where like he works for U.S. Soccer, so therefore he can't like go have a website. It is interesting that he would potentially be running against like his boss, or maybe Sunil doesn't run and it's more of the same, you know. So that just makes me a little nervous. I think this is really interesting though. Again, on Twitter, dude, build a website, go to Wix. To clarify some falsehoods out there, one, I am 100% self-financed, because that's a question with all the candidates is, if it's an unpaid position, how are you paying for this, right? Like, are you independently wealthy, or like, is someone paying you to like disrupt the system or whatever it is, right? Two, I have no financial interest in any league-related business or Soccer United marketing, and I plan to do a video on that, but if you look up some of the things that go on between Soccer United marketing, MLS, and USSF, it's a little sketch. It's a little sketch, right? And furthermore, at USSF, I am, and I will always be an unpaid volunteer. You know, he's got this Mission 2627. Dude, get a website, call it Mission 2627. I actually don't even know what that means. Maybe that means like winning the World Cup in the men's in 26, the women's in 27. I literally don't. I don't even know if the women's World Cup is in 27. I literally have no idea. So I mean, that's all there is. It's just his Twitter, and he has 657 followers. So I can't take you seriously because you didn't put together a website. Just saying. Same thing with Paul. I'm gonna butcher this. I apologize. Paul Caliguri, play for the U.S. My goodness, 84-97, right? Doesn't have a website. When you put in his name, he's like done a couple of like interviews or whatever, but like I don't know what he actually stands for, but he's throwing his name in the hat. And then Paul Lapointe, who is currently the Northeast United Premier Soccer League Conference Manager. So he's putting his name in the hat as well. But again, let's just try it here. Let's just do an old-fashioned Google. You don't get like, you know, let's add soccer. Apparently there's more than one Paul Lapointe. It's got his front office information, but it doesn't have a website. Here's an interview with American Soccer United. That's independent soccer media. You should check them out. Great. But dude, if you're going to try and run for an office that's going to control the future of soccer in the United States, I expect you to invest 30 minutes in building a website. I just don't think that's too much to ask. I don't think it is. But that's what's going on right now. I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple things. Like, what did you think of the email that Kyle Martino posted from the board or directors? I gotta think that's board of directors from U.S. Soccer, essentially saying, hey, don't be bashing people in public. Like, was that potentially an evil thing that they're plotting, like to get people to calm down and not say mean things? Or was it just like, hey, like, let's be all professional here? Which one do you think it is? And then what do you think about the candidates as they sit right now? Because there's a bunch of people. I mean, I haven't even counted, right? So Kyle Martino is 1, Steve Gans is 2, Eric Wynalda is 3, Winograd's 4, Cordeiro is 5, Caliguri is 6, Lapointe is 7. So we got 7 candidates that are throwing their name in the ring. Who do you like? What do you think of their websites or lack thereof? So smash a like on this, subscribe if you're new, share it, you know, on Twitter, hashtag USMNT or USSF Presidency or whatever. Leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for being here.